They expected tears, perhaps anger, a public collapse for their amusement. But the real story.
I thought the envelope was a joke. It was my 50th birthday, and the room was packed with people I barely knew, all smiling too wide, holding phones instead of drinks. My wife stood near the cake, glowing, confident, like this night was hers, not mine. Then her father stepped forward. He had that look he always got when he thought he was about to teach someone a lesson. He handed me a thick envelope and said, "For everyone to hear, happy birthday, it's time you stop pretending." The room went quiet. I opened it slowly. Divorce papers. Fully prepared and signed by my wife 3 days earlier. No warning, no discussion. Just paperwork, delivered like entertainment. People watched, waiting for my reaction. Someone laughed nervously. Another raised their phone higher. I looked at my wife. She didn't look away. She wanted a scene. She wanted tears, anger, humiliation. She wanted content. So I smiled and I signed. The sound of the pen scratching the paper felt louder than the music. Her father's grin froze. My wife blinked, confused. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. I handed the papers back, wished everyone a good evening, and walked out. No shouting. No drama. That was the moment they realized they had misjudged me. What they didn't know was that I had been preparing for this for over a year. Not because I wanted a divorce, but because I could feel the ground shifting beneath my feet. The late nights, the secret conversations, the sudden interest in assets she'd never cared about before. I didn't confront her, I observed. I work quietly. I always have. I build systems that don't fail when people do. So when my marriage started cracking, I did what I always do. I planned. Trusts, separate entities, documentation, everything legal. Everything clean. Everything invisible to someone who never read past the first page of anything. That night, I drove 2 hours out of town to a place no one else knew about. I turned my phone off and slept better than I had in months. By morning, my first phase was complete. Joint accounts were frozen, not emptied, frozen, the house she thought we owned together. It wasn't in either of our names anymore. It belonged to a company she'd signed paperwork for years ago, without reading, for one of her personal projects. Her father started calling by noon. Then my wife, then her lawyer. I didn't answer. The story she posted online that afternoon painted me as cruel and unstable. Comments flooded in, full of sympathy for her bravery. Nobody asked why she had served divorce papers at a birthday party. They didn't need to. Reality doesn't require an audience. But by the end of the week, the tone changed. Her credit card stopped working. Her father's accounts were flagged for review. The lawyer suddenly needed to re-examine some things. She showed up at the house I no longer lived in, crying, demanding answers. I met her once in public, calm and brief. "You planned this," she said, shaking. "You knew." "I prepared," I replied. "There's a difference." She accused me of being heartless, of setting traps. But I just told her the truth. I didn't punish her. I just stopped protecting her from consequences. The divorce finalized faster than she expected. The settlement didn't go her way. Her father threatened legal action but backed down the moment real documents appeared. The man she thought would replace me vanished the second money became a problem. And her followers? They faded. Drama gets boring when it stops being entertaining. 3 months later, I started over. New city, new routine, work that mattered. People who listened when I spoke and didn't assume silence meant weakness. I turned 51 quietly. No party, no cameras. Just peace. Sometimes I think about that night, about the room full of people waiting for me to break, and how disappointed they must have been when I didn't. I didn't win because they lost. I won because I walked away with my dignity intact. And I learned something important. Never underestimate the person who stays calm when everyone expects them to collapse. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more.